Most Uber rides feel routine, but sometimes the destination isn't the problem. It's who or what gets in. In tonight's episode, a driver picks up a woman who shouldn't exist, a man in a yellow raincoat who vanishes without a trace, and a trip that never should have happened at all. These are true Uber horror stories. This is the Night Files. I've been driving for Uber for 4 years now. Nights mostly. The money's not great, but the quiet's something I enjoy. No traffic, no heat, just the hum of tires on cold asphalt and the occasional drunk college kid puking out the window. But what happened that Thursday night? That's the last time I ever worked a night shift again. It started around 11:30 p.m. I was near Capitol Hill in Seattle, just finishing a ride, when I got another request. A woman named Eliza. Pickup was in a quiet suburb just east, past Ravenna Park, an area I didn't frequent often. The icon on the map was hovering right at the edge of the woods. I almost declined, but surge pricing kicked in, double fare, and I had bills to pay. I accepted. The drive out there was long, with streetlights becoming less frequent until I was driving under pure blackness. No houses, just thick trees on both sides. Finally, a porch light glowed in the distance. She was already standing outside. No coat, no umbrella, in the rain. She wore a black dress, soaked and clinging to her like plastic wrap. Her hair was plastered to her face, head tilted slightly like she'd been listening for something. I rolled down the window. "Eliza?" She didn't speak, just nodded and got in the back seat. No hello, no small talk, just silence. I asked, "You headed to 3815 Lake City Way?" Again, just a nod. We started driving. I kept checking the rear view. She didn't blink, didn't even move. Her eyes were wide, staring at the back of my seat like she was expecting it to open up and swallow her. After 10 minutes, the GPS glitched. The screen blinked. The route recalculated. It now showed a different destination, deep into the woods, down a road I didn't recognize. "Hey, is this still correct? Looks like we're headed off Lake City and into something called Weaver Road." She finally spoke. "It's fine. Just follow it." Her voice was flat. No emotion. Like someone repeating lines they didn't understand. I should have stopped. I should have told her to get out. But I didn't. The rain picked up. The trees became thicker. My headlights barely pierced the fog now creeping in. And that's when I saw something wrong. There were no tire tracks on this road. No signs anyone had driven on it in years. And then, the forest changed. We passed an old wooden sign, "Weaver Asylum, closed since 1974. No trespassing." "Is this a joke?" I asked, my heart now punching my ribs. "Is someone filming this?" No answer. "Who are you?" I said louder. Still nothing. I pulled over, turned around. "Eliza, I'm not going any further. I'm ending this ride now." She didn't respond, just reached slowly into her soaked dress and pulled out a small, leather-bound book. It looked hand-stitched, old. She opened it to a page and held it up to the rear view. It was a sketch of a man. Me. Same beard. Same hoodie. Same scratch on my cheek from shaving that morning. I froze. "Eliza, what the hell is this?" She finally looked at me, directly, her eyes pitch black in the reflection. "You were supposed to take me here. It's time. Then she started screaming. Not yelling, screaming, like she was being burned alive. Her mouth stretched unnaturally wide, her skin rippling like boiling water. I slammed on the brakes and turned to face her. But the back seat was empty. She was gone. The car door hadn't opened. I hadn't heard anything. Just fog. Just cold. And silence. The ride was still active on the app. It showed me at the destination. I looked around. The trees behind my car had vanished. In their place was a tall, broken fence, and behind it, a decrepit stone building with shattered windows and metal bars. The name etched above the entrance read, Weaver Asylum. I hit end ride. It wouldn't respond. The app glitched, then restarted, only to show her profile again, asking, Ready for pickup? Her face in the photo had changed. Now she was smiling. This happened to me during my sophomore year at college in Denver. I've never told anyone. Not because I'm scared they won't believe me, but because I still wake up hearing his breath behind me. It was around 2:15 a.m. on a Saturday. I had just left a house party near Union Station. My friends stayed behind, and I wasn't in the mood to wait for someone to walk me back. So I called an Uber. Driver's name was Thomas. Silver Toyota Camry. 4.9 stars. I got in, confirmed the name, and we started driving. He seemed normal. Mid-40s, clean-cut, polite. He asked if I wanted music or silence. I chose silence. I just wanted to get back to my dorm. 15 minutes in, I noticed something strange. He kept glancing at the rearview mirror. Not like how a driver normally checks traffic. His eyes were wide, searching. At first, I thought he was watching me. But then I realized he wasn't looking at me. He was looking at something behind me. I turned around. The back seat was empty. Still, Thomas's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. You okay? I asked. He didn't answer at first. Then, quietly, he muttered, Have you seen him? What? He didn't say anything else. My stomach dropped. I looked back again. Still nothing. Then, slowly, the route on the Uber app rerouted. From 12 minutes, remaining to 28. The car had taken a hard right off the main road. We were driving into the industrial district, rows of old factories, broken lights, metal siding. I pulled out my phone. No signal. I said louder, Where are we going? This isn't the way. He whispered, He doesn't like main roads. I froze. Who? But he wouldn't respond. His eyes were locked on the mirror. Sweating. Shaking. I tried the door. It was locked. Even the manual handle was stiff. Then I saw it. The reflection. There was a man sitting behind me. Not in the seat. Behind the seat, somehow. Crouched in the legroom space like a spider. Wearing a bright yellow raincoat. Face obscured by shadow. I couldn't see eyes. Just a huge, too wide grin that looked carved. I screamed. Thomas screamed too, but not at me. He was staring at the rearview mirror, mumbling. I didn't pick him up. I swear, I didn't pick him up this time. Suddenly, the car slammed to a stop. Thomas jumped out, opened my door, and yanked me out of the back seat like I was on fire. He ran to the front and opened the passenger side. Empty. Then the back. Empty again. He kept whispering, He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. I was shaking, tears running down my face. I didn't understand any of it. He got back in the car, engine still running, and just drove off. I stood there in the middle of an abandoned warehouse district with no signal, completely alone. It took me nearly an hour to walk back to the main road and find someone to help. The next day, I filed a report on the Uber app. But here's the thing. There was no ride history, no trip with Thomas, no record of a silver Camry. Nothing. I contacted Uber support. They said my last recorded ride was 5 days prior. I went to the campus security office, where the cameras pointed toward the parking area. The footage showed me walking out alone. No car ever pulled up. No one ever picked me up. But in one frame, just a flicker, there's a flash of yellow. Behind me, as if someone had been walking right next to me, only visible for a single second. I haven't used rideshare since. And every now and then, when it rains, I still feel something behind me in the back seat, breathing. I drive Uber to pay the bills while I study part-time. It's nothing glamorous, but I get by. Most rides are normal, some boring, some annoying, some awkward. But this one never really ended. It was late, 1:27 a.m. A new request popped up. Pickup from a closed-down gas station on the outskirts of Cincinnati. The kind of place that had vines growing over the fuel pumps, where windows are boarded up and the lights haven't worked in years. I almost ignored it, but the surge rate was 2.5x, and I was greedy. I pulled up slowly. No street lamps, just the dim glow from my dash and the buzzing of the old fluorescent sign that flickered on and off. The GPS said the rider's name was Landon. He wasn't visible on the pickup cam, which I thought was odd. Then the back door clicked open. I turned, expecting to greet him, but the back seat looked empty. Then I heard it. Drive straight for 2 miles, then left. His voice was hoarse, whispery, like someone who hadn't spoken in years. I flicked on the backlight. Still empty. I said, "Sir, can you confirm your name?" "My app says Landon." He didn't reply. I stared into the rearview mirror, heart pounding. There was a strange shape in the middle seat. A faint outline, like heat haze or someone not fully there. I started driving, not because I wanted to, but because I couldn't not. It was like my arms moved on their own. 2 miles in, I reached the intersection. GPS still hadn't loaded a route. Then he said, "Left." Then again, then again, then again. I followed the turns, for left turns. And then, I was right back at the gas station. The app still said en route. I turned around. There was no one in the back seat. But now the center console screen started flashing. My Uber app showed the ride was 1,389 miles long. Estimated arrival time for 44 a.m. next month. I tried to end the ride. The app crashed, then restarted. Same screen. "Where are we going?" I asked out loud, trying to sound strong. The voice behind me said, "Home." I never got to go home. I screamed and pulled the car over, jumped out, ran 20 feet into the dark. When I turned back, the car was gone. No engine, no brake lights, just gone, vanished into the air. I stood there shaking, looking at the dead gas station. Then I heard tires on gravel behind me. My car. It had returned, but someone else was in the driver's seat. A figure. I couldn't see the face. Just a silhouette gripping the wheel, head down. Then slowly, it raised its face and looked at me. A blank, eyeless expression, like a mannequin, but its mouth stretched open too far, like it was learning to smile for the first time. The passenger door opened with a click, and the whisper came again. "Get in. It's still your ride." I backed away, but my legs wouldn't move. The ground felt heavy, like I was sinking. The car was closer now. I screamed, fought to move, ran into the woods. I don't know how long I ran. I passed the same tree 3 times. Eventually, I collapsed. I must have blacked out. I woke up in my bed the next morning. Clothes muddy, phone dead. But here's the part that messes me up even today. The Uber app was open, and it still is. The ride is still ongoing. Even now. Estimated arrival, July 4th, 4:44 a.m. Final destination, unknown.